Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday morning Facebook Live here at Briggs Health. I'm Jennifer Briggs, licensed acupuncturist, and it is a rainy day, which is good because we need the rain. And so today I was thinking about a conversation that I had yesterday with a new patient, and she had an old injury years and years ago, 35 years ago. No, actually, it was like 15 years ago. 15 years ago. And this injury was pretty significant, although, she didn't break any bones and but she had blunt trauma to like one side of her body that knocked her over, it happened so fast that she didn't even see it coming. And let's see. So she had an injury to one knee, actually injuries to both knees, but they were mainly like sprain and strain kind of injuries. So like I said, nothing broken. And then she re-injured the opposite knee from the side of the impact. She re-injured it somewhat recently and needed to have a surgical repair. And the surgical repair was successful in one way, and then there was another like post-surgical problem that happened, and she's been in lots and lots of pain in that area since. Like the knee just doesn't work, and it wasn't the knee that originally got. I mean, it was injured in the initial accident, but it also was like not the primary like where the force came in the accident. So she came in and lots of pain, like I said, for, like a year and a half, to where she couldn't work, even though she's working from home, like there's just no comfortable position for that knee to be in. And so I started, working on her knee, and I could tell that the knee was too inflamed to even touch. So I kind of started in the hip and in the leg and kind of like below the knee. And she was asking me, why are you treating that? That's not what hurts. And so I was explaining to her that about connective tissue. So one of the main ways that I think acupuncture works is that it loosens connective tissue. And the connective tissue is like a three-dimensional net that runs all the way through the body, from the very top of the head to the very bottoms of our feet. And it holds everything in place. So the knee that had the surgery, because of what had happened after the surgery and the surgery itself and the old leftover injury from that initial injury, even though that wasn't even where the impact was, all of those things have left kind of knots in that net. So that three-dimensional net, has some places in it that are where it's like the net is just knotted up, or like maybe you pour like super glue into the net. And so there's a part of it that like just doesn't move. So of course it's still, we're still moving our bodies around. Like she's trying to find a comfortable place for her knee. And she can still move kind of, but it puts a lot more stress on other parts of the net as she's trying to move. And so I was explaining to her that what I was really doing was like finding these knots in the net that are not in the knee area, but that are contributing to some of the stress that's on that joint. And really, some of that is probably as old as the original injury. Now, I was also working on the other side where the impact was, because that also had nets in the connective tissue. knots in that net of connective tissue. So if you imagine in your mind that like there's a person shaped net, and then like just kind of randomly take parts of it and make it so that it can't move, and then try to move that person around in space, and you can see how much pressure that actually puts on other parts of the body. Um, so when there's knots in that net, the other thing that happens is that blood and other fluids can't move through there. So it becomes very difficult to heal those places because there's not good circulation through there. So I explained this to her, and I think she was really surprised when she got off the table, and actually like the knee didn't hurt in the same way. She said it felt like things had kind of been rearranged in her body, which is exactly what we want. And of course, my goal is to always return the body to as close to its original, like natural functional state as possible. And we can get really close to that, actually. Even with injuries that are very old, we can still reopen those places in the net so that instead of being a tight knot, there's room for fluids to come in and out and for that area to heal. So, I've really worked on injuries that are sometimes multiple decades old, and gotten good results. So, if you or someone that you know has had an injury in the past that sometimes people are aware that they're compensating, like this woman was like, or sometimes people will say, I had a knee injury and now I'm having problems in the other leg because I'm compensating for it. So sometimes people know that they're compensating, but not always. But if there has been an injury, it's very likely that there are still some of those knots in the connective tissue net, and we can treat those. They're still treatable, and sorry, there's just somebody walking outside. It's still treatable, and we can talk to you about your situation and see if you might be able to make progress, sometimes with pain that you've had for 20 years, 30 years. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Reach out to us at Briggs Health. We're online at briggshealth.com. That's BRIGGSHEALTH.com. And we look forward to talking with you and answering any questions. All right. Thanks for tuning in.